Well, Hindalco as well will have to go through its fair share of trouble coping with the lockdown that was imposed in Q1. Going to be a washout undoubtedly. We are expecting the revenues to degrow 25%, but this will mostly be led by the copper business because aluminium volumes are still largely seen a bit stable. They've been able to come out of it very smartly, but the copper volumes are seen falling quite drastically. EBITDA is going to be very, very key because yes, we know realizations have obviously fallen as well, especially compared to the corresponding quarter. But what will be interesting to watch here is the way coal costs have fallen and even how the Muri refinery has sort of kicked in with its cost savings. The utilization was at roughly about 80% in Q4. They would have liked to improve it further in Q1, but I'm sure the lockdown may have sort of thrown a spanner in the works over there. But with the Muri refinery sort of getting back into action and capacity increasing over there, as it goes on increasing, it becomes a more a cost saving factor for Hindalco's aluminium business. So that I think will be watched out for, how they've been able to come back into action on the Muri refinery, because it will lead to future cost savings. And yes, like I mentioned, premiums for coal have been cut down drastically, so that as well will aid Hindalco. It may have in fact to a certain extent supported the EBITDA as well in Q1. So overall EBITDA is seen at 595 crores. If we have to include Utkal, it is seen at 817 crores and margins at 7.8%. This time around, we are expecting Hindalco to post a loss of roughly about 24 crore rupees. Novelis, we are expecting that one to report a sales volume of around 700,000 ton and EBITDA per ton of $325 per ton. I would also want to watch out for if what sort of fall have we witnessed in auto volumes for Novelis in the can business as well. And this time around, not to forget, there'll be the whole Aleris factor as well that will come in. So on a consolidated basis, Aleris as well will be watched out for very, very closely. All in all, it's going to be definitely a tough quarter. Like I said, there's going to be a deep gash which will be witnessed on the top line front. That will trickle down on the EBITDA because of the weaker operating leverage. But yeah, I guess we should be seeing some support coming because of costs. Lower TCRCs as well in copper will sort of hit the copper business, the copper revenues as well. In fact, the EBITDA for aluminium, by the way, is seen just falling by about 22%, but for the copper business, the EBITDA is seen falling by a much bigger quantum. So like I mentioned, while the aluminium business may support the overall numbers, copper really will be a tough one. Novelis too will have to undergo problems, and we had Hindalco's management tell us that Novelis will see the impact of the lockdown coming in Q1. So while Novelis has been pretty strong recently, we would like to see how they have performed in Q1 in a lockdown quarter.